The details behind Catherine's shock absence from Royal Ascot. Did we see a new member of the royal family this week? And what will we see?
A royal twist no one saw coming. While the world speculates about King Charles's health and the future of the monarchy, a quiet but powerful story has been unfolding behind palace walls. From shocking health revelations to whispers of a new royal baby, Prince William and Princess Kate's journey over the past year has been anything but ordinary. How did they manage to keep it all together? And what does it mean for the future of the royal family? What makes this news particularly notable isn't just the prospect of another royal baby, but the timing. The royal family has been navigating a period of increased scrutiny and significant change, with King Charles III facing ongoing health issues. Recently, multiple insiders have suggested that the king's cancer is unfortunately incurable. Although no official details have been released about the type or stage of the illness, the general tone from palace insiders and some respected royal correspondents suggests a long-term health battle rather than a short-term concern. King Charles, who ascended to the throne in September 2022, following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, has taken a noticeably reduced public schedule in recent months. Though he continues to fulfill select duties, his visibility has decreased, prompting further speculation about the future of the monarchy and what role Prince William and Princess Catherine might be preparing to step into. Some observers believe that planning for Prince William's eventual role as king has quietly accelerated, especially given the king's reported fatigue and ongoing treatments. In the midst of these developments, the potential addition of a new royal baby adds another layer to the evolving royal narrative. Public reaction has been a mix of delight, curiosity, and surprise. Many royal watchers have been taken aback by how quietly this news was kept under wraps, especially in today's media climate, where even minor updates about the royal family tend to make headlines. Social media has naturally lit up with conversations, with fans speculating about everything from potential names to whether it will be a boy or girl. Others are reflecting on what this might mean for the royal line of succession, although, in practical terms, a fourth child would not significantly shift that dynamic. As it currently stands, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis are third, fourth, and fifth in line to the throne respectively, following Prince William, who is second. Still, the symbolic nature of a growing royal family is always a source of public fascination. It gives the monarchy a sense of continuity and personal warmth, often helping to soften the image of an institution that can sometimes feel distant from everyday life. Royal births, in particular, tend to unite people in celebration, providing a rare moment of joy and shared excitement. It's worth noting that if Catherine is indeed expecting, this would mark her fourth pregnancy, a rarity in recent royal history. Most modern royal couples have had 2 or 3 children, so a fourth child would certainly make headlines in and of itself. But beyond the novelty, this potential pregnancy also raises important questions about her health and the public's expectations. Catherine's previous pregnancies have been widely documented, not just because of her public role, but due to the severe morning sickness she experienced in each case. The condition, known medically as hyperemesis gravidarum, is far more intense than typical morning sickness and can sometimes require hospitalization. During her first pregnancy in 2012, she was admitted to King Edward VII Hospital for treatment. It wasn't just a difficult experience for her personally. It also sparked public conversations about the realities of pregnancy and the pressures placed on women in the public eye. In recent years, Catherine has spoken candidly about her journey into motherhood and how those early experiences shaped her perspective. Her openness about her challenges has been widely praised, helping to present a more relatable image of royal life. If she is indeed pregnant again, many are wondering whether she'll face the same complications and whether she'll share more about her experience this time around. Adding to the current intrigue is how little the palace has revealed so far. In contrast to previous pregnancies, when announcements were often made early due to her medical condition, this time the news has surfaced in a much more subdued and less formal way. That shift in approach could reflect a desire for greater privacy, or simply an attempt to shield the family from intense media scrutiny during an already challenging period. Some royal commentators have noted that the family's approach to public relations has changed significantly in the past few years. With younger royals like William and Catherine taking on more responsibilities, there has been a noticeable effort to modernize the monarchy's image, balancing tradition with a more personal, less scripted form of engagement. It's possible that this more reserved rollout of the pregnancy news is a reflection of that evolving strategy. Of course, speculation can only go so far without confirmation. While unofficial reports continue to circulate, it's important to remember that the palace traditionally refrains from commenting on personal matters unless absolutely necessary. That said, the growing buzz around this story suggests that an announcement of some kind may be imminent, especially if the princess begins to make fewer public appearances, or if medical appointments become more visible to the press. In the meantime, much of the public discussion is focused on the family's future. Prince William and Princess Catherine already play a central role in the royal institution, often seen as the bridge between the older generation and a more modern monarchy. Their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, have already charmed the public with their appearances at events like Trooping the Color and the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Introducing a new sibling would no doubt be seen as a joyful development, adding to the growing family dynamic that the public has come to know and admire. There is also a political dimension to all of this, even if it isn't openly discussed. The royal family plays a constitutional role in the UK, but its influence goes beyond legal frameworks. Its image, particularly during times of uncertainty, carries emotional and cultural weight. In that sense, news of a royal baby can have a stabilizing effect, reinforcing the idea of continuity and long-term stability. At the same time, the royal family is navigating significant transitions. Alongside King Charles's health concerns, the aftermath of Prince Harry and Meghan's departure from royal duties continues to echo. Public trust and support for the monarchy remain high in some quarters, but younger generations have shown a more mixed response. For many observers, Catherine's reported pregnancy represents a moment of positivity that could help rejuvenate public sentiment. Whether or not this story is formally confirmed in the coming weeks, it has already stirred global interest. News outlets across Europe, the United States, and Commonwealth nations have picked up on the story, amplifying its reach. The world's fascination with the British royal family may wax and wane, but certain milestones, births, weddings, anniversaries, always seem to reignite that spark. For now, royal watchers will continue to observe, speculate, and wait for further details. If confirmed, this new chapter in the lives of Prince William and Princess Catherine could become one of the most closely followed royal stories of the year. As always, the palace will be measured in its response, but with so many eyes on the Windsors, even the smallest update is bound to make waves. As with all stories of this nature, it's best to await formal confirmation before drawing conclusions. Until then, the public's attention is locked in, and the global conversation continues. A royal pregnancy is more than just a headline. It's a moment that captures imagination, invites celebration, and brings people a little closer to a family that, despite their title, continues to live in the spotlight of very human challenges and joys. As speculation continues to swirl around the possibility of a fourth royal baby, many people have turned their attention back to the Princess of Wales's previous experiences with pregnancy and motherhood. Over the years, Catherine has become one of the most recognized and admired figures in the royal family, not just for her public appearances or fashion sense, but for her candidness about the challenges of parenthood, something not often associated with royal life. While she has remained relatively private in many ways, Catherine has also spoken openly at times about the physical and emotional toll of pregnancy, giving the public a more relatable view into the life of a modern royal mother. Much of the current conversation is rooted in the knowledge that Kate has never had easy pregnancies. During all three of her previous pregnancies, with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, she suffered from hyperemesis gravidarum, a severe form of morning sickness. Unlike typical nausea, this condition can lead to dehydration, weight loss, and extreme fatigue. In her first pregnancy in 2012, she was even hospitalized due to the severity of her symptoms. That experience set the tone for how challenging pregnancy would be for her, despite the excitement and joy surrounding each announcement. Years later, Catherine reflected on her journey into motherhood during a podcast interview with Giovanna Fletcher, host of the parenting podcast Happy Mum, Happy Baby. In that conversation, she described how difficult it was to feel joyful when she was so physically unwell. She admitted that she hadn't been the happiest of pregnant women, and noted that the experience was hard not only on her, but also on those around her. Prince William, in particular, found it difficult to see her in distress, knowing there was little he could do to help beyond offering emotional support. But it wasn't just about surviving the symptoms. Catherine talked about how the difficult pregnancies pushed her to look for ways to cope, and that's when she discovered hypnobirthing. It's a technique that combines breathing exercises, meditation, and visualization to create a calm mental state during childbirth. According to experts in the field, hypnobirthing can reduce anxiety and even lower the need for medical interventions. For Catherine, it became a way to take control of an otherwise overwhelming experience. She made it clear that this approach was something she chose for herself, rather than something encouraged by others or influenced by royal expectations. She also debunked a few common assumptions, including the idea that Prince William was involved in whispering calming affirmations during labor. Instead, she explained that hypnobirthing was about personal empowerment and using the mind to manage what the body was going through. While some people may have viewed the technique as unusual or even theatrical, Catherine's explanation presented it in a more practical, grounded light, an accessible option for many women, not just royals. The public responded positively to her honesty. For a member of the royal family to speak openly about the realities of childbirth, mental health, and coping mechanisms was a departure from the past, when these topics were often brushed aside. Catherine's willingness to discuss her own discomfort and learning process resonated with many women who've experienced similar struggles, regardless of social status. Despite the attention on her health during each pregnancy, Catherine always returned to her royal duties with the same poise the public had come to expect. But behind the scenes, there were moments of vulnerability and real discomfort. In the same podcast interview, she shared how amazed she was at the body's ability to nourish and grow a healthy baby, even when she was barely able to eat. That idea of her body somehow doing what it needed to do despite the intense nausea gave her a new respect for the experience of pregnancy. As with many expecting mothers, Catherine developed a few specific cravings to get her through. One of the more widely reported favorites was thinly sliced pickles on brown toast. It's a simple, modest dish, but one that apparently brought some comfort during the worst of her symptoms. Another go-to item was avocado, which she added to her daily meals for its nutritional value and palatability. But the most talked about craving came from her time in her hometown of Bucklebury, Berkshire. During her pregnancy with Prince George, she regularly enjoyed homemade vegetable curry prepared by Chan and Hash Shingadia, a couple who ran the local shop in her village. They shared that they had been making meals not just for Catherine, but for her family, and that it had become a bit of a tradition during that time. It's these small, humanizing details that often capture the public's imagination. They show a side of royal life that feels familiar and approachable. Catherine has always maintained an air of grace, but she's also allowed occasional glimpses of the woman behind the royal title. After marrying Prince William in 2011, she gradually became one of the most visible members of the royal family. And while she rarely speaks about her private life in detail, moments like the podcast interview gave people a better sense of who she is as a mother, not just as a princess. That sense of groundedness is part of what has made Catherine so popular. She's often described as being relatable or down to earth, terms not frequently associated with royal figures in the past. Her experiences with pregnancy have helped contribute to that image, showing that even someone in her position can struggle with health issues, anxiety, and the demands of balancing family life with public expectations. With the current rumors about a fourth child, many are wondering whether Catherine will take the same approach if the news is confirmed. Will she use hypnobirthing again? Will she face the same severe symptoms? And if so, how will she manage them while continuing her royal duties? There's also curiosity about whether she will choose to share more details this time around, particularly since her openness in recent years has helped reshape the narrative around royal motherhood. Public interest in royal births goes beyond curiosity about names or baby clothes. For many, these moments offer a chance to connect with the monarchy on a more human level. They remind people that even those living in palaces face very personal and emotional experiences. Catherine's story has shown that pregnancy is not always smooth or picture perfect, but that strength often lies in honesty, vulnerability, and finding your own way through difficult circumstances. And it's not just about Catherine. The attention around each of her pregnancies has also highlighted Prince William's role as a partner and father. He's spoken in the past about how hard it was to see his wife suffer through hyperemesis gravidarum, and how helpless he felt at times. These shared moments have become part of a larger picture, one of a couple navigating parenthood under the constant gaze of the world, yet doing so with a sense of teamwork and care. As the royal family continues to evolve in the public eye, Catherine and William have positioned themselves as the faces of a more modern monarchy. Their parenting choices, their public appearances with their children, and their willingness to talk about topics like mental health and childbirth have all contributed to that image. And if they are indeed expecting a fourth child, it will likely be seen as another step in their ongoing journey as parents and public figures. For now, without official confirmation, the discussions remain speculative. But the memories of Catherine's past experiences are a reminder of just how much she has shared with the public and how those moments have helped shape her role in the royal family. Whether or not the latest reports are true, the interest in her story reflects something deeper, a recognition that behind the titles and formalities, there is a woman who has faced pregnancy with resilience, honesty, and a quiet determination to do things her own way. While much of the focus has been on Princess Catherine's reported pregnancy and her personal experiences with motherhood, Prince William's role as a father and partner has also drawn increasing attention over the years. As the future King of the United Kingdom, Prince William carries a heavy public responsibility. But those who observe the royal family closely have noted how seriously he takes his role as a parent. Despite the obligations that come with his title, he consistently makes time for his children and is known to be highly engaged in their lives. Since the birth of their first child, Prince George, in 2013, William and Catherine have tried to raise their children with as much normality as possible. The couple welcomed their second child, Princess Charlotte, in 2015, and their third, Prince Louis, in 2018. Though they live in royal residences and attend high-profile events, the children are often shielded from media attention and public life. William and Catherine have spoken in various interviews about how they prioritize a stable home environment and strive to ensure that their children grow up with a strong sense of identity, away from the spotlight whenever possible. Prince William's public image has shifted significantly in the past decade. Once known for his military service and bachelor years, he is now often referred to as a hands-on dad. This image is backed by many small but telling moments shared with the public. In 2016, for instance, he spoke in an interview about how becoming a father had changed his perspective on life. He described how he began thinking more deeply about the kind of world he wanted to leave behind for the next generation, and how parenthood had given him a new sense of purpose and urgency, especially around issues such as mental health, homelessness, and climate change. These reflections weren't just sound bites for the media, they were supported by actions. Prince William has often been seen attending school drop-offs, cheering from the sidelines at sports events, and spending one-on-one time with his children. In July 2023, he and Prince George attended a cricket match together. The two were photographed eating pizza in the stands, dressed casually and relaxed. It was a simple image, but it spoke volumes about the kind of father William aims to be: present, approachable, and actively involved. That approachability was further underlined in 2024, when Catherine took a candid family photo to celebrate William's birthday. The picture showed William and the three children jumping hand in hand on a beach, all smiles and carefree joy. Many people describe the photo as one of the most genuine images of the royal family in years. It was a powerful reminder that, beyond the titles and expectations, there is a family that values connection and togetherness above all. William has often credited his late mother, Princess Diana, for shaping his views on parenting. Diana was famously affectionate and hands-on with her sons, often breaking with royal tradition to ensure they had experiences outside the palace walls. From taking them to theme parks to making them aware of social issues at a young age, Diana's influence remains a guiding force in how William now raises his own children. He has said that he wants his children to grow up understanding the importance of empathy, kindness, and public service, values that Diana championed throughout her life. In keeping with that spirit, William has made efforts to expose his children to meaningful causes. During the Big Help Out initiative tied to King Charles III's coronation celebrations, he and Prince Louis were photographed working together at a community project. At one point, the two were seen operating an excavator, much to the delight of onlookers. The event was not only fun and engaging, but also a learning opportunity for Louis, who was able to see firsthand what it means to give back to the community. Another notable moment came when William shared details about his bedtime routine with his children. He revealed that he often reads stories to them, including one about a boy helping a homeless woman. It's a small but significant gesture that reflects his efforts to nurture empathy and awareness from an early age. These parenting choices suggest a man who, despite his future role as monarch, is deeply invested in shaping his children into thoughtful and grounded individuals. William has also been open about the emotional challenges of parenthood. In past interviews, he has admitted that the transition from bachelorhood to family life wasn't always easy. He spoke honestly about how parenthood tested him in unexpected ways, introducing both incredible highs and tough lows. At the same time, he praised Catherine for being a supportive partner and an extraordinary mother, saying that their teamwork is what keeps their family strong. The public has seen many examples of this teamwork in action. One particularly touching moment came in 2017, when Catherine was too unwell to take George to his first day at school. William took on the task solo, holding George's hand as they walked into Thomas's Battersea. He later joked that another parent seemed even more emotional than he was, a lighthearted comment that made him appear relatable and genuine. It was a simple yet powerful image, a father navigating a significant milestone, just like any other parent. Mental health has also become a cornerstone of William and Catherine's public work. The couple, along with Prince Harry, launched the Heads Together campaign in 2016 to promote open discussions around mental well-being. In a series of interviews, William explained how important it is for children to feel safe expressing their emotions. He and Catherine have both said that they want George, Charlotte, and Louis to grow up comfortable talking about how they feel and asking for help when they need it. During visits to schools, William has been impressed by how articulate some children are when it comes to mental health. He once noted that younger generations seem far more open and capable of discussing difficult emotions than many adults. This observation has given him hope for the future and reinforced his belief in early education around emotional intelligence. William's attentiveness extends beyond emotional support. He's also taken on some of the more mundane parts of parenting. During a visit to an urban farm, he revealed that the family owns guinea pigs and that he's often the one cleaning out their cage because the children forget. It's a humble admission that further supports his down-to-earth image. These day-to-day responsibilities might seem minor, but they speak to the type of father he strives to be: engaged, patient, and present. In his public addresses, William has repeatedly spoken about the pressure that modern life puts on children and families. He's expressed concern about materialism and the unrealistic expectations placed on young people, especially in the digital age. His hope, he says, is that his children grow up with a sense of perspective, learning to appreciate what really matters in life. He wants them to find happiness not through status or possessions, but through purpose and connection. William's dedication to fatherhood doesn't mean he neglects his royal duties. On the contrary, he's managed to balance his public responsibilities with his family life in a way that has drawn admiration from many observers. He continues to take on a wide range of official engagements, represent the monarchy abroad, and support various charitable causes. Yet, he consistently finds time to be present with his children, to participate in school events, and to support Catherine in her role as both a public figure and a mother. As Prince William continues to prepare for his future role as king, these everyday moments may prove just as influential as any constitutional duty. They offer a glimpse into the kind of leader he may one day become, one grounded not only in tradition and protocol, but in compassion, humility, and the simple joys of family life. Whether it's guiding his children through their early years or comforting them in difficult times, William's approach to fatherhood is shaping not just his family, but potentially the future image of the monarchy itself. When Prince William and Kate Middleton exchanged vows in April 2011, they pledged to support one another through every stage of life, through joy and sorrow, in health and in illness. Those vows, like many others spoken on wedding days, carried with them the hope of a bright future together. But as time passed, those words would come to mean more than anyone could have imagined, especially in light of the difficult circumstances that unfolded in 2024. That year proved to be one of the most challenging in the couple's lives. In March, after months of speculation and public concern, the Princess of Wales revealed that she had been diagnosed with cancer and was undergoing preventative chemotherapy. Her diagnosis came just weeks after King Charles III had also announced his own cancer diagnosis. The simultaneous health battles within the royal family sent shockwaves through the public and placed immense emotional strain on William, who found himself juggling personal heartbreak with increased royal responsibility. Kate's diagnosis had followed a long period of silence and absence from the public eye. People had started to ask questions about her whereabouts, with growing speculation and even conspiracy theories filling social media. Then came the announcement. In a quiet, personal video filmed on the grounds of Windsor Castle, Kate spoke directly to the public. She shared that the cancer had been discovered following major abdominal surgery and that chemotherapy had already begun. The video was heartfelt and honest, showing a rare vulnerability not often associated with royal statements. She thanked the public for their patience, understanding, and support, acknowledging how much it had meant to her and her family during such a difficult time. Kate also spoke about the emotional toll her diagnosis had taken, not just on herself, but on Prince William and their 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. She explained that the couple had taken time to explain the situation to their children in an age-appropriate way, allowing the family to process the news together in private. This decision reflected the values that both William and Kate have consistently upheld: protecting their children's emotional well-being and maintaining a sense of normalcy despite the extraordinary circumstances they live in. In the months that followed, Prince William stepped up both as a father and as a senior royal, with King Charles temporarily stepping back from duties to focus on his health, and Kate recovering behind the scenes. William became the most publicly active senior member of the royal family. Despite the increased workload, he made it a priority to remain close to home whenever possible, ensuring that he could be present for his wife and children. Royal observers noted that while he attended key events, he was also careful to carve out time for his family, often declining engagements that would take him away for too long. In November 2024, while attending the Earthshot Prize Awards in South Africa, William briefly addressed the difficulties his family had faced. He spoke honestly about how emotionally taxing the past months had been, and how proud he was of both Kate and his father for the way they were handling their treatments. He described the experience as brutal, but made it clear that family had remained his top priority throughout. Kate's return to public life came in June 2025 at Trooping the Color, the annual celebration marking the King's official birthday. It was her first public appearance in nearly 6 months, and her presence was met with an outpouring of support and affection. She stood alongside William and their 3 children on the Buckingham Palace balcony, a symbol of unity and resilience. Observers noted that while she appeared slightly more reserved than usual, she was radiant and composed. Her appearance sent a clear message, not just of recovery, but of determination to carry on. One particularly emotional moment was captured on camera when Kate smiled warmly at William after he glanced her way. Body language experts describe the moment as genuine and affectionate, evidence of the strong bond that remains at the center of their relationship. Royal photographer James Watling, who was on the scene, described how Kate's entire expression changed when William looked at her. It was a simple moment, but one that carried significant weight, especially given the trials they had faced together. Soon after, Kate posted a Father's Day photo of William with their children, accompanied by a handwritten note that read, "We love you, Papa. Happy Father's Day, GC and L." The message was a touching reminder of the close-knit nature of their family and how love and small gestures had helped them stay grounded during the most uncertain of times. While Kate's recovery continued quietly, she offered occasional updates to the public. On June 14th, she released a statement saying she was making progress, though the journey remained unpredictable. She described having both good days and difficult ones, and noted that treatment would continue for several more months. On days when she felt strong enough, she tried to be involved in family life, help with school activities, and even take on light work from home. William, for his part, remained calm and measured in public. He rarely gave details about Kate's condition, choosing instead to keep his comments brief and reassuring. When members of the public or the press asked how the family was doing, he would simply reply with, "We're all doing well." This consistency was appreciated by many, as it preserved the family's privacy while still maintaining a connection with the public. Behind the scenes, Kate's parents, Carol and Michael Middleton, were a steady presence. William has always had a strong relationship with his in-laws, and their support became even more vital during this period. In June 2025, William was seen attending Royal Ascot with Carol and Michael. At one point, a photographer captured William helping Carol after her shoe got stuck in the grass, a small but telling moment that highlighted the warmth and closeness between them. By September 2025, Kate made a major announcement. She had completed her chemotherapy treatment. In another personal video, she thanked the public for their overwhelming support and spoke about how challenging the past months had been. She described cancer as something that impacts not just the patient, but everyone close to them. She reflected on how the experience had opened her eyes to the fragility of life, the importance of support systems, and the value of empathy. In the video, Kate also acknowledged how much the ordeal had taught her. She spoke about humility, resilience, and the need to take each day as it comes. It was clear that the experience had changed her, deepened her perspective, and strengthened her resolve to use her platform for good. The message resonated with many people across the world who had faced similar challenges, and it marked the beginning of a new chapter in her public life. Through it all, the bond between William and Kate remained a constant. Their journey, through pregnancies, public duties, parenthood, and now a health crisis, has not only shaped who they are as individuals, but has also defined their relationship. As they step forward, possibly now with a 4th child on the way, their resilience and unity continue to serve as a modern example of what partnership can look like under pressure. While the royal family often operates behind layers of formality and tradition, moments like these pull back the curtain and remind the public that at the heart of it all is a family. A family with its own highs and lows, worries and celebrations. And in William and Kate, many see two people doing their best to raise kind, well-rounded children while navigating a life that very few can truly understand. As the public awaits any official confirmation of a new royal baby, What's clear is that the journey of William and Kate continues to evolve. Their story is not just about duty and legacy, but about love, commitment, and finding strength in one another. Whether through illness or celebration, they remain side by side, steadfast in their roles as partners, parents, and modern faces of the British monarchy.